Good morning, students. After Vienna Congress, in the first part of the chapter Nationalism in Europe, we had discussed about the meeting, a Treaty of Vienna 1815, called by Duke Metternich. And after the meeting, a Treaty of Vienna, autocratic monarchies have came up. They did not tolerate any kind of criticism. Now, the next part, the revolutionaries. Due to the fear of repression, many liberal nationalists went underground. Many secret societies had sprung due to these autocratic monarchies. Now the liberal nationalists went underground. They were not able to exercise. Many restrictions were there on those nationalists. Many secret societies have sprang up or come up. These secret societies oppose monarchies. Monarchies here means the type of monarchies which came up after 1815, after Vienna Congress, and they believed in creation of nation state. They all believed that nation states should be formed. So this was the idea of the revolutionary. Now in our syllabus we have to read about Giuseppe Mazzini. Among the revolutionaries, the most important, Mazzini. Mazzini, born in 1807 in Genoa. He had initiated a revolt in 1831. In 1831, he initiated a revolt in Liguria. But that revolt failed and he was sent to exile. Then he was member of Carbonari Society. Carbonari Society was a society of the people who are working in dealing with coal, etc., burning coal. So he was member of Carbonari Society. And when he was sent to exile, there he formed two secret organizations. And the name of the two organizations, first was Young Europe and Young Italy. Young Europe in Bern and Young Italy in Marseilles. These were the two secret societies which were created by Giuseppe Mazzini. Mazzini believed that the God has made the nation as a natural unit of mankind. So Italy cannot remain in fragments, parts. Mazzini was from Italy and he believed this. Duke Metternich, Austrian Chancellor, once said that Mazzini is the biggest enemy of our social order. Mazzini was a revolutionary, he believed in nation state, and on the other side, Duke Metternich was a conservative. He believed that autocratic monarchy should be there, small states ruled by the princely house, the ruling dynasty should only rule. So this was the basic difference between the ideas of Mazzini and Duke Metternich. Clear? Now next is Age of Revolution 1830 to 1848. This period is known as Age of Revolution. 1815 Vienna Congress. From 1815 to 1830, autocratic monarchies were there. Now in 1830, the things changed. The first uprising was in France. France, which was given to the Bourbon dynasty in Vienna Congress, they were ruling for 15 years, that autocratic monarchy ruled. But the things which were there in France, which developed during 1798, etc., again came up. Now people started a revolt against the king. In 1830, July 1830, people revolted against the king and a constitutional monarchy was set up. Constitutional monarchy under Louis Philippe. So this was the first uprising in France. What changes were there? Autocratic monarchy was removed. Now a constitutional monarchy was set up under Louis Philippe. Second was in Brussels. Brussels, here in Vienna Congress we have read that Belgium and Netherlands were joined together and a new state was made, United Kingdom of Netherlands. From United Kingdom of Netherlands, Belgium separated itself. So Belgium removed from United Kingdom of Netherlands, Holland. From United Kingdom of Netherlands, Belgium was separated. This also happened in 1830. And the third is Greek War of Independence. Now Greek War of Independence is very important. A 3-mark question can also be framed on Greek War of Independence. Next is Greek War of Independence. People in Greece started their struggle in 1821. Many people in Greece, they started, actually Greece was a small country, is a small country in South Europe. And this country was under Ottoman Empire. So the fight was against Ottoman Empire, that is Turkey. So people of Greece were fighting against Turkey. In 1821, this revolt started. Many people supported, like the English poet Lord Byron. He supported the people of Greece. The reason of support was Greece was considered cradle of European civilization. European civilization. Greece was the place where the civilization first started in Europe. So people had sympathy for Greece. Okay, Greece should not remain under an Asian country like Turkey. Ethnically they were different. And people all over the Europe wanted to support Greece. Finally in 1832, in the Treaty of Constantinople, Greece was recognized as an independent nation. In the Treaty of Constantinople 1832, Greece was recognized as an independent nation. Clear? Now next is romantic imagination, that is Romanticism. Romanticism was a cultural movement. It tried to develop particular type of nationalist sentiments. That means patriotism and nationalism they wanted to develop through culture, that is music, dance, stories, etc. They had criticized the glorification of science and logic, and they give more emphasis on feelings, emotions, etc. So while writing definition, they tried to develop nationalist sentiment. They criticized glorification of science, logic, and they gave more emphasis on feeling and emotions. So this was the Romanticism. If examples are asked, the first example from Germany, John Gottfried Herder. He was a German philosopher and he believed that the true German culture can be seen in the common people. Das Wort. He was a German philosopher and believed that the true German culture, if people want to see, they can see in the common people. Das Wort. Similarly, second example is from Poland. Poland was given to Russia, Britain, etc. Russia actually they had removed the Polish language from school, etc. Actually, they wanted to remove that Polish culture, the culture of Poland. So the priests, etc. in Poland, they started giving all their preachings in Polish language. They wanted to retain the Polish culture. So this was in Poland. The third example is about Karol Kurpinski. He wanted to develop nationalism through opera, music, dance, etc. So these are the example of romantic imagination or romanticism, cultural movement, want to like glorify feeling and emotion. They criticize the glorification of science logic. Example, John Gottfried Herder, Karol Kurpinski in Poland also. Next is the 1830s, the year of economic hardship. Economic hardship in Europe. The reason was first, there was industrial revolution in Britain. Britain was supplying raw material, the finished goods to most of the countries of Europe like France, Germany, Russia, etc. Now the people living in France, Germany, Russia, they were not able to compete with the goods which were coming from Britain. Britain was able to manufacture goods at a very low price. Like in the present scenario, if we see China is supplying goods at a very low price. Suppose in India, for Indian manufacturer, it is very difficult to compete with Chinese products. One such example is there, one story is there regarding Napoleonic War. Napoleon had a system of continental system. He said that we will not import goods from Britain. But during the war time, even the button of the uniform of the soldiers was coming from Britain that time. So we can understand how much the countries of Europe were dependent on Napoleon, Britain. So first reason, the producers in most of the European countries were unable to compete with the machine-made goods which were coming from Britain. European market were flooded with the goods coming from Britain, United Kingdom, and the producers were unable to compete. There was food shortage. This has resulted to unemployment also. Population increased during this period, and when the more population, people migrated to urban areas. In urban area, the problem of slums, kachi basti. So these all were the problems which they were facing. During this period in 1848, even in France, people revolted against Louis Philippe, who came to power in 1830 as a constitutional monarchy. Louis Philippe had to flee. Like people revolted and finally he left the country. He had to run away. In 1848, Louis Philippe. Problem, European market was flooded with the goods coming from Britain. Producers were not able to compete. There was widespread unemployment. Population increased during this period. There was food shortage in the rural areas, particularly in Central and Eastern Europe. People were facing the problem of serfdom and manorial dues. Peasants were facing this problem. In Silesia also, the weavers, they had revolted against the contractor who was giving them less money. And the problem of the contractor, he has to compete with the goods coming from Britain. So all these were the major problems during this period. Now next is the liberal revolution of 1848. In 1848, there is one saying, even Duke Metternich once said, when France sneezes, rest of the Europe catches gold. Every new thing starts from France. 1848, there was revolt in France. Louis Philippe had to give up the throne, and France became a republic in 1848. In 1848 itself, in Frankfurt city, St. Paul Church, 831 members, these were mainly of the middle class, they gathered there and they decided for all German National Assembly. And they decided that we will draft a constitution for France, and the king has to rule according to a constitution. That means they wanted Germany to become a constitutional monarchy. And the king of Prussia was said, okay, now Frederick Wilhelm IV, you have to rule according to the constitution. That means Germany will become a constitutional monarchy. But the king was having support of other monarchs of the Europe. The other kings of Europe, they supported him. It is wrong. We will not become a constitutional monarch. They wanted to remain as autocratic monarch because no one is ready to give up powers. Second, he was even supported by Junkers. There is one word, Junkers. Junkers means the landlord of Germany. They also supported the king. Yes, this is wrong, something which the people of Frankfurt they are planning. Poor people were not included with them. This was all by the middle class people, the liberals. They had not taken the support of the poor people. So this was also one of the major problems. Now next is the role of women. In Frankfurt, Frankfurt Parliament, this is popularly known as. In Frankfurt Parliament also women were taken only as a, they were able to see the whatever things were happening. They had their political clubs, etc., but they were not given right to vote. They were not having right to vote or take part in such thing. Only as a audience they were sitting there. Now, in the second stage of unification, in 1848 all the efforts failed. They were not able to make a nation state, unite Germany. When Frederick Wilhelm died, William I became the king of Prussia. His chief minister, Otto von Bismarck, he was the chief minister, even sometime it is said the chancellor, chief minister. He fought 3 wars in 7 years, resulting in Prussian victory. These 3 wars were with Austria, Denmark, and France. And on 18 January 1871, William I was proclaimed the King of United Germany. In the Hall of Mirror in Versailles, he was proclaimed the King of United Germany. This was how unification of Germany was completed. After unification, Germany became a one country. They legalized the system, they made currency stronger, banking system was improved. So all those nation building process took place. Next is unification of Italy. In unification of Italy, Italy was also ruled by different people. The North Italy was under Austria. Central part were under control of Pope, supported by France. South Italy, the Spanish rulers were ruling. So different parts of Italy were ruled by different people. Only Sardinia Piedmont was ruled by Italian princely house. Now, Giuseppe Mazzini tried his level best to revolt in 1831 and 1848 failed. Now the unification had to be done by Sardinia. There was the chief minister of Sardinia, Cavour, Cavour. He was the chief minister of Sardinia. He did the unification. Yeah, he was the architect of unification. Cavour was the most important person in the unification of Italy. And the process, he was neither a democrat nor a revolutionary. Through diplomatic alliances, he had united the Italy. The first alliance he made was with France in 1859. He took the support of France plus Sardinia and defeated Austria. Where Austria was ruling? In North Italy. North Italy was under the control of Austria, was defeated by Sardinia with the help of France. Thus, diplomatic alliance was made by Cavour. Second, in this Garibaldi also, Giuseppe Garibaldi, he was having his own troop which was known as Red Shirt troop. So Giuseppe Garibaldi and his Red Shirt troop has also supported. In 1860, they defeated Spanish ruler who were in South Italy. The Spanish ruler as South Italy. The Spanish rulers of South Italy. And finally in 1861, after this, 1861, Victor Emmanuel IV became the king of United Italy. But before this, only Cavour died. Cavour was not able to see the United Italy. Garibaldi was there. And when Victor Emmanuel said, Garibaldi, what do you want for all you have supported us? So Garibaldi replied, United Italy is the biggest gift which I am getting. And I don't want anything else less than this. And he left. So he was also a great revolutionary. He supported everywhere. Cavour, with his diplomatic alliance, it was all possible. Awakening awareness was of Mazzini. So Mazzini's role was in awakening the people, awareness, uniting. Garibaldi, revolutionary. And Cavour, with his diplomatic alliances, has united. Yeah. Next is how Britain was made. Britain, the formation, completion of making of Britain was different than Italy or Germany. It was not by a sudden revolution. Before unification, the island which we call today Britain, the complete name United Kingdom of Great Britain. So this was divided into England, Scotland, Ireland, Wales. So these were the different names of the, and the ethnic wise also, English, Scot, Irish, Wales, these were the people who were living here. That means there was no British identity, and among this, England became powerful economically, military, in all the sense England became powerful. Now, England wanted to establish its dominance over the other countries. In 1707, England signed a treaty, pact, Act of Union 1707 with Scotland. Okay, now they will be together, and in this way they signed one agreement. Now, by this Act of Union, England was able to dominate Scotland culturally also and politically also. Now England was able to dominate Scotland culturally and politically. This was the Act of Union. Now the people of Scotland, they suffered. They were not able to speak their Gaelic language. Dresses, no, it was like culturally they want to remove the Scottish culture. And the people of Scotland, either they changed themselves in the English culture, they started living as the English people were living, or they had to leave the country. They migrated somewhere else. So this was how Scotland was incorporated in Britain. Now next this was Act of Union, Scotland, and this resulted in the formation of United Kingdom of Great Britain. Now the second story, with how Ireland also became the part of this. Ireland was a country which was divided into two sects of Christianity. Roman Catholics, they were in majority. Protestants, minority. England started supporting the Protestants. You establish your dominance. You should be more powerful. You should rule. Now, the problem between the two groups started. Protestants were supported by England. Now it was Britain because Scotland already had become the part. There were frequent clashes between these two groups. There is one revolt also important in 1791. Wolfe and its United Irishmen, they revolted. But this revolt was also suppressed in 1798. And finally, in 1801, Ireland also became the part of Britain. 1801, Ireland became part of, when we are saying UK, that means United Kingdom of Great Britain. Clear? This was different than Germany and Italy. Their wars were there. It was in 7 years Germany united, in 2 years Italy, but it took more than 100 years in unification. So first Scotland. How Scotland was incorporated? Act of Union 1707. England was able to establish its dominance over the Scottish people. Then Ireland, Roman Catholic, Protestant. England supported Protestants. Frequent conflicts were there. In 1798, revolt was also there. But this revolt failed, and in 1801, Ireland became the part of United Kingdom of Great Britain. And after this, the English flag, Union Jack, became the flag of the whole nation English became the language. God Save the King became the national anthem. So all the English culture started dominating. Now the next part of the chapter is allegory. Thus you must be able to see here the image of Germania is there. Allegory, when an abstract idea is shown through a person or a thing, abstract idea which is not easy to explain, बहुत ही जैसे समझाया नहीं जा सके ऐसी कोई चीज, ग्रीड है, फ्रीडम है, नेशन है, लिबर्टी है, इक्वलिटी है. If any such thing need to be explained, it is generally explained through allegory. That means through a person or a thing. In India also, before 1947, it was very difficult to explain what is the India nation. So people painted the images of Bharat Mata. Okay, this is Bharat Mata, you have to worship. Here also in Europe, in Germany, Germania was the female allegory of Germany. And here this picture is given, you can see it is having a oak leaves as a crown. Oak leaf as a crown, which stands for heroism. Sword in the hand, readiness to fight. And they wanted to show that Germany is a powerful country and they wanted to unite it as. Similarly, in France, Christian Marianne was the female allegory of France. Christian Marianne was the female allegory of France. Next, the last topic, here this some examples are given. These are also important for 1 mark. What all are the different meaning of different symbol in 9th class? Also such things were there. The last part of the chapter is the Balkan problem. The Balkan is the region of South Europe. Balkan is the region of South Europe which was under, this is Europe. Here Africa and here Asia. So this part particularly is the Balkan region. Balkan region was ruled by Turkey, a small Asian country, Ottoman Empire, Turkey. When Turkey became weak, this region got independence.